For those who might remember, those who subscribe me, or those who may have just passed my channel, on those who's first time here, I did a video a while back talking about how the media like to show certain images of black people in pictures that are demeaning or derogatory or out of context. And I came across this article about Reverend Wright. Reverend Wright criticized Obama during a heated DC sermon. Now, I find it the language that we're using, number one, to describe Reverend Wright or any black person who doesn't kiss President Obama's ass or want to keep making excuses for Mr. Obama. Now, Reverend Wright, like so many other black men, have spoke truth to power in this country, around the world, have been villainized by the media and been thrown on the bus by our own people. Now, I read this article right here by D.L. Chandler, and you could tell this person is an Obama supporter, and you could tell some of the people left comments in this about this, basically saying that Reverend Wright's jealous, he need to go somewhere and be quiet. But I don't never hear us talk about those other pastors or any other American citizen outside the community say all kinds of hateful shit towards Mr. Obama or the black community or anybody who dare question the hypocrisies in this country. But then I came across the grill. And let y'all know the grill is on the NBC family, see? NBC News. And you want to see the picture they put up of Reverend Wright? And then this person, I ain't gonna pronounce his name, but you can tell this is a person of African, might be African, okay? Basically, they said President Obama has distanced himself from Reverend Jeremiah Wright in his controversial comments since 2008, but it seems that the Reverend doesn't like being left behind. Wait a minute, hold. Why is it that every time a black man speaks out, it's controversial? What Reverend Wright said was true. You don't do shit to other people or bully them and don't think they're going to get up and say enough is enough. Now, I'm not condoning people flying planes into the buildings in New York or the field in Shakespeare, Pennsylvania, or the Pentagon, but we got to be honest. The country we live in has done a lot of dirt, and we as black folk should never forget that. But yet, this is what they tell you. You guys live in the past because they don't want to be reminded of the shit they done. So when something happened, they can sit there and play, it wasn't me. We didn't do it. Just like when they say, I didn't own any slaves or you wasn't a slave, but the effects of slavery, you've benefited from it and we've suffered from it. But look at the difference in images. So this is shit you guys got to recognize and understand what they're doing. And then, but at the same time, the tone is just the same. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Let me go down here. Let me see. Where's the? Let me see. Where is this? Right here. The fact. Oh, here you go. The fact that Wright is attacking Obama today gives further credence that the idea that Obama has successfully distanced himself from Wright at this point. Andrea Gillespie, an Emory University political scientist, wrote to the Huffington Post. Leonard Steinhorn, a communication professor from the American University, adds the American people have for 4 years observed Barack under the media microscope, and they see no connection between him and the rantings of Reverend Wright, a Jew. And I'm gonna say that what it is. This is a Jewish person talking about his rantings. Sean Hannity rants, Bill O'Reilly rants, Rush Limbaugh rants, Michelle Bachmann, Ann Coulter, Joe Scarborough, Pat Buchanan, the numerous neocons and right-wing extremists, but he's ranting. So you mean to tell me we didn't put blacks into bondage? You mean to tell me blacks were denied basic rights? You mean to tell me that drugs and alcohol have not been deposited in our community? You mean to tell me we haven't caused wars and killed thousands or millions of people? But then we still, with a straight face, say, God bless America. Now, me being honest, America said an eye for an eye, right? We got to go back. They did this to us. We got to go do this to them. So what's the difference between somebody outside this country thinking the same way? Oh, it's different. We have this self-righteous behavior. But what gets me is that black people or people who claim to be friends of the black community or understand our pain or like to make comparisons saying that Reverend Wright is ranting. So we haven't done any harm in this country. You mean to tell me you got people in this country don't even want to see another American citizen have a job, pay lower taxes, or have health care, or be properly educated, or protect themselves? Check this out. Something Reverend Wright said that makes a lot of sense. There's racist. Let me read. Sorry, let me do that. There's racist white. No, I'm sorry. There's white racist DNA running through the synapses of his or her brain tissue. They would kill their own kind, defend the enemy of their kind, or anyone who's perceived to be the enemy of the milky white way of life. That's true. Why is it that? Let me read something else before I even go there. During his sermon, Wright listed influential African Americans throughout history, and most notably failed to mention Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Now, let me take about the DNA. If you notice in our community, the brothers and sisters that commit crimes, sell drugs, prostitution, kill, you notice they don't go outside the confines of the black community, because guess what we've been told? If you go out into the white community, there's going to be dire consequences, or they don't play, or you're going to bring trouble upon yourself. We put our dirty laundry out for the world to see. When a white person is up in our conversations, we turn on each other very quickly. So when he said there's white racist DNA running through the synapses of his or her brain tissue, they would kill their own kind, defend the enemy of their kind, or anyone who is perceived to be the enemy of the milky white way of life. That's true. Then they said, during his sermon, Wright listed influential African Americans throughout history, and most notably failed to mention Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, because you know what? A lot of blacks know Dr. King's true history. A lot of blacks is not going to sit and keep elevating Dr. King when we don't talk about Marcus Garvey, or we don't talk about Malcolm X, or Madam C.J. Walker, those other brothers and sisters, Adam Clayton Powell, or the Black Panthers, or Elijah Muhammad. See what they try to do? They try to make you. They want us to forever be locked to Dr. King, because for a large chunk of Dr. King's, or not even a large chunk, but the image they want to promote of Dr. King, he was Mr. Nonviolence. A lot of y'all don't know that Dr. King, prior to him becoming the Dr. King, or a lot of y'all don't even know his real name is Michael King. See, that's why I tell you I need to pick your history books. That he was more like Malcolm before Malcolm became Malcolm. King couldn't stand white. It wasn't that he went to those schools and got educated by them teachers, the boule or bougie, or the white instructors, that he converted to this nonviolent shit, and that was nothing but a form of slavery. You kill the enemy with kindness, and then Dr. King loses his hands by violence. But a lot of people don't realize that Dr. King was sitting down talking to Elijah Muhammad, that was going to join Malcolm X. We keep trying to protect Mr. Obama and brothers and sisters like him, but they keep giving us the middle finger, while the brothers and sisters are pointing us out are being mocked and being disrespected in the media. You notice, and the white media is the one that told y'all Tavis Smiley and Cornel West is hating on Mr. Obama. They're attacking him. So what do? They went and got these handkerchief heads like Tom Joyner, Steve Harvey, Michael Bastin, and the rest out here to sit here and say, well, Tavis and Cornell shouldn't be criticizing because he's a black man. Wait a minute, but yet those same brothers turn around and criticize the brothers and sisters within their community. So what makes Mr. Obama so special above criticism? See, Reverend Wright was right when he said what he said back in 2001. He was right to this point. Mr. Obama has gotten away with saying and doing things, and brothers and sisters in the media are afraid to speak truth about it. Reverend Sharpton, I respect him, but I lost respect for him in some ways. Since Mr. Obama's been in office, the Al Sharpton that we knew, the one that stood and called presidents out, have not called this brother out. Now, a lot of people say Reverend Wright should go sit down. Mr. Obama knew this man for 20 years. This man introduced Mr. Obama to people, influential black people, people in the community. When Hillary Clinton, the late Tim Russert, and people in the Democratic Party or on the right went after Reverend Wright for speaking truth, he threw him under the bus. So if Reverend Wright is angry at him or hurt, he has every right in the world. That's the ultimate betrayal. Why is it that we as black folks still throw our people under the bus just to gain favor or to say we know somebody white? Now, I'm not saying all white people are racist, and I know people get mad when I do that, but I got to because I have to be fair. Now, people say you don't have to be. If people don't understand what you're talking about, Harvey, you shouldn't say it, but I got to say it anyways, okay? But I did a video the other day showing y'all how those white men and white women who are within our age group, that means in their 20s and 30s, were talking about Christmas incident happened in '09. It's now 2012. It's now July of 2012, and they still bring that shit up. But they never bring up the shit they people have said and done. This is why I say that we as black people got to start having a united front. Do I agree with everything Reverend Wright say? I haven't heard everything Reverend Wright said. But the stuff I do agree with is on point. Do I agree with everything Dr. King say? I haven't heard everything Dr. King say, but there's things I heard him say that I don't agree with. There's things I do agree with. Have I heard everything Brother Malcolm has said? No. There's things I agree with him with, and there's things I don't. I keep trying to tell everybody that we got to stop allowing people to tell us how we should feel, especially somebody who's never experienced our pain. Reverend Wright is 60-some years old. He grew up through that blatant, intense segregation. Now you and I, we don't call it segregation today. Hell, some people in our age group don't even call it racism. We just say, oh, just a small group of people. Because you can walk into the store or buy a car, live in a certain community, doesn't mean that you still not looked upon as a nigger. Trust me on this one. But for us to dismiss Reverend Wright, dismiss Reverend Jackson, dismiss Mr. Farrakhan because the media or a few white or a few weak-minded black men and women say we ain't no earthly good. This is why I was upset watching the videos or the commentary, some of our brothers and sisters saying that it's not always about race. It's always about race when it comes to black people. See, a lot of y'all have had y'all nigga moments and maybe don't realize it because you've gotten used to, gotten conditioned to this is how it's supposed to be. But notice they sit here and say, Reverend Martin Luther King. Dr. King wasn't the only black person that spoke. White folk chose Dr. King to be the leader of our movement. King was a reluctant leader. A lot of people didn't know that the last year of King's life, King was tired. King wanted to step away from it. Ask yourself, why don't they show documentaries about King in the last 3 years of his life? Why don't they talk about King prior or the conversation that King had with his closest advisors? Those brothers and sisters want to protect the image of King. But yet, the media have no problem throwing out that King supposedly cheated on Coretta. You didn't hear that about Brother Malcolm. But when they put out, well, he was gay. He was gay, black people. There's no proof that Malcolm was gay. Malcolm been dead since 1965. I mean, where's the proof? Reverend Wright says the same thing that Dr. King said, that Malcolm and every other black said, but y'all forget that, but y'all say he didn't mention Martin Luther King. This is why I did some videos saying, well, why in January, when they talk about Dr. King, I Have a Dream and nothing else? Why in February they show nothing? You got all these cable channels, all these local channels. There's no documentary showing anything about Brother Malcolm or other people. Why has a big Hollywood picture been done about Marcus Garvey or a television show? Or miniseries? We can talk about everybody else. How many times are we going to talk about Spartacus and the Romans? How many documentaries are we going to see or movie series about the Kennedys? But yet they tell you Reverend Wright and people like us that sit out here and call out this shit, the hypocrisy, we're wrong. That we're the ones who got it wrong. We're the ones who need to let it go. And then you got these handkerchief head black men and black women, whether it be in politics or in the media, saying that Reverend Wright needs to get over. He's jealous. Barack Obama betrayed this man. because he wanted to be president of the United States. Wait a minute. If Reverend and let me bring up something else. The other day, Brad Pitt, racist and homophobic mother, brought Reverend Wright name up. Well, he said Reverend Wright Church for 20 years. So what you're saying that all the black churches should be looked upon that way, because Reverend Wright said the same thing that some of these brothers and sisters have said over the years. And those brothers and sisters want to pretend like they never talked about black unity, black pride. So when I see these images or these biased ass comments about Reverend Wright, I sit here and look at this. I mean, look at this image of him. You couldn't find nothing better of him. At least News One, they didn't do this time. But that doesn't mean the person that wrote this wasn't biased. Let me read this to you. This person said, by no means Reverend Wright should be held from speaking openly about black experiences or not be critical of Obama. But was the church pulpit the best place to address his concerns? Probably not. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. So if we're going to have that logical, that means we need to stop elevating Dr. King and these other pastors in our community. No, the problem is Reverend Wright hitting too close to home. You know, I hear a lot of blacks, well, they're going to use Reverend Wright against him. Reverend Wright is going to mess him up. If Reverend Wright messed Mr. Obama, one lone black man, chances are those people that claim to support Mr. Obama was never supporters. We have to be honest with ourselves. Mr. Obama was picked because of his ethnic makeup and because he didn't have a Negro dialect like Harry Reid, or he was clinging a ticket like Joe Biden said. I'm going to ride with people like Reverend Wright. I'm going to ride with people like Reverend Sharp. No, I'm sorry. Professor West and Tavis Smiley before I keep riding defending Mr. Obama. Now, some things I would defend the president on because it's blatant. As a black man, you see this blatant hatred and racism directed towards this man. But he is not a god. Mr. Obama has thrown us under the bus. He threw Reverend Wright. And I told people, this is why I wish I would have done those videos during that time. Because then I would have had documented proof. I'm like, I said, but you know what? I did leave comments on different videos. So they might be floating around here somewhere. And I probably want to go through the videos and look at them, do a screen capture of them, and put them back up and let y'all see that I've been consistent. If anything, I've been consistent. Why would we dismiss Reverend Wright while he did speaking the stuff that we all speak about? I don't know why blacks have this love-hate with people to speak the truth and then defend those who do nothing but spite us. I mean, just look what happened last month. Russell Simmons, by Russ Scott, Jay-Z, yeah. Ice-T, I'm a player. You know, I play a cop on Law and Order. You know, I married a white woman named Coco with a big ass. Nas, schizophrenic ass. They all came out and defended a white woman who said niggas in Paris for real. And that devil, that blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil, didn't even apologize. But a brother calls it out. We supposed to tell him to shut up. That don't make any sense to me. Those are the people that are the ones you should throw under the bus. Those are the people that you need to dismiss. Mr. Obama been in office 3.5 years. They have yet to come to our community anything. Unemployment is anywhere between 14 and 15% in our community. How many of y'all know that Mr. Obama was invited to the Bud Billiken parade here in Chicago? Well, Chicagoland area, I should say. It's the longest running parades in Chicago. In Black Chicago, I should say. And they said he turned out because of scheduling conflicts. But this man can go everywhere else. He can go in a diner and meet a woman who later had a heart attack. But he can stop and do photo ops with them, but not the people that supported him. The whole speech that Reverend Wright was giving was saying that, you know what, you guys need to start questioning black people in positions of authority or power, or perceived authority or power. That's all he said. And if it hit too close to home and it was like criticism aimed at Mr. Obama, the shoe fits. He's talked to the Hispanic community, the gay community, the Jewish community, white women, white men. He's gone on Fox News multiple times and been disrespected. but he can't come to black events. And if he do go somewhere, he goes to New York, he goes to a place where he's singing "Let's Stay Together" or telling black people to take your shoes and off. That's what Reverend Wright is talking about. Us constantly supporting black men and black women who coon and buffoon is too afraid to speak truth to power. Mr. Obama stood for Professor Henry Gates, who is another black man that got self-hate issues, but wouldn't stand for Reverend Wright, who spoke truth to power. Then you got somebody saying that, well, he didn't mention Dr. King. Dr. King wasn't the only one. And let's be honest, it was those boys and girls out there who was doing the marching as well. Those kids is getting bit, water hoses. Brothers and sisters' names we may never know, or names that we do know, who were shot, blown up, burned alive, hung. Dr. King was not the civil rights movement. It was a group effort. But you had to have a face to go along with that, I guess. If you're going to do that, then you better put Malcolm out there. You need to put Medgar out there. You need to talk about Emmett Till was the catalyst for kicking this off. Better talk about those World War II vets. You know, when I talked about the double victory. If you're going to talk about it all. But don't attack this brother for reminding people of these things. Now, the problem is Reverend Wright is one of those black men that say, I ain't going to sit down because you told me to go sit down. And I got mad respect for him. This is why I tell you brothers out here on YouTube, somebody false flag your channel, create another, come back. After a while, those who keep doing that are going to get tired. Or they're gonna keep doing it, and brothers and sisters are going to start taking notice that, wait a minute, you know what? This brother ain't off. Some of my subs have sent me personal messages and say, Harvey, you know what? You're on point. You've been saying what they're doing. They prove me right all the time. I mean, all you guys got to do is open your eyes and your ears and just step back and just observe, and you see what they're doing. But I want to remind y'all again, look at this image of Reverend Wright versus this image. Okay? And this is the grill, supposed to be a black website, but guess who's under? NBC News. Oh, y'all thought NBC was liberal. No, it's not. Since it was never been liberal. Because they put a lot of distorted stories out over the years. And then they tell you how, and then y'all go say, well, MSNBC's a part of them. Yeah, but they ain't as liberal as you think it is. Because if they was liberal, you would see another black person in prime time. You wouldn't see Al Sharpton show sandwich between what's the guy that Martin Bashir, the one that destroyed Michael Jackson. Or you wouldn't see him between Chris Matthews' show. They shows get played 3-4 times in rotation. Al's get played once. Then they got Melissa Harris Perry. They said put a black woman on, a light-skinned black woman, or a mixed ethnicity black woman at that. Put on Saturday mornings behind Chris Hayes. Where the black men at? Go to current television. It's not. That's supposed to be a liberal. They say black's liberal. Why is there no black host? You mean to tell me you couldn't find out one black person to host the show? See, that's the shit that Reverend Wright and people like us put out here. But some of y'all afraid to see it. So when I'm listening to these comments, listening to people put their videos up and reading these comments saying, it ain't always about race. Y'all some naive motherfuckers. But y'all the first ones, and y'all get y'all nigga moment, come back looking, oh my gosh, we gotta do something. I'm sorry, but Reverend Wright was on point about President Obama. He said he's a politician. A politician do what he got to do. Didn't y'all forgot just last month that bogus ass commercial came out? We stand with Barack or something. I did a video about that. Played y'all the music. Y'all know what type of commercial I'm talking about. Them, I call them nigga commercials. Where they go get the deep sound and talking brother. And the sister talk like this. And they got the choir. Everybody's singing in the background instead of just saying, okay, why don't you address our issues? Instead of insulting us. But some of y'all low information voters, some of y'all like that shit. Me personally, I want you to talk to me, not at me. I want you to hear my opinions and I hear yours and we come to a consensus. But when you sit here and say, no, this is what I think is best for you. Or no, we're not going to talk about that right now. Y'all like, he got to win another term. Y'all, I keep trying to tell y'all. Even if he does win a second term, he only got 2 good years. The last 2 is lame duck. As you can see right now, the Congress and them don't want to do shit. Y'all remember, it was the Democrats that have thrown Acorn under the bus. Remember, Shirley Sherrod, Van Jones, Desiree Rogers, and any other black person associated with Mr. Obama administration has been thrown under the bus. Remember, when Mr. Obama and his team, who's going to be the Supreme Court justice, you mean tell me there was no black female judges? Now, that would have been historic. He went and got a Jewish woman that had his reputation for not having any blacks hired or doing around her. Then he go get Sotomayor. Here it is. The brother went to the Supreme Court that got pulled over and strip searched by police officers, held in jail, and he went to go to the Supreme Court. They turned it down. Guess who was there? So when Reverend Wright and brothers like him and myself, and we point this shit out, don't get mad at us. Get mad at those people that you elect that tell you, we ain't gonna do this right now. Last week, Representative Cummings, I believe, Elijah Cummings, I believe that's his name, was asked a question by Ed Schultz about, do you think it's racism when it's with this Eric Holder thing? Brother, basically, his face went white or he got scared. I'm gonna say that. But yet you go to your constituents and say, it's about race. Don't say one thing with the black community and then go in front of white folks and don't say nothing. This is why there's a group of blacks who become apathetic to voting. Because we got handkerchief heads and coons and sambos who don't want to speak truth to power. And the brothers and sisters do. We cut their throat. This is the point I was making about the videos between that brother and sister the other day. If y'all think that brother was off or that sister was off, we should have kept it internal. We should have talked to each other. But when you got outsiders coming in, we all start taking sides. We start pounding on one over the other. And usually it's the black man that gets pounded on. Y'all say y'all want strong black men, y'all want leaders. Then when we stand up, we get knocked the fuck back down. So when Reverend Wright said blacks injected with racist, white racist DNA, you can't deny that. We got color-stuck people in our community. If you don't believe me, let me play y'all a video real quick. I came across yesterday. Let me see if it'll play.
Dark skins. Huh? Okay, Verdians? Okay, Verdians? No, fuck them. I'll tell you like this, right? Because they think too much about this.
Let me see if I can play this again. I apologize. Let me see if I can play this again. Cause what these kids are saying, y'all need to hear this shit. Cause this is gonna tell you how sick our people have become, and why we need to not deny racism or self-hate exists among our people.
Even though I'm dark skinned, like, I'm not black. I'm Dominican and Cape Verdean, and black people get on my damn nerves. I'm not even joking, because you know what, they're mad ignorant. Like, that's very true. They are very ignorant people. Like, they do not care about nothing but themselves. They're selfish, they're ignorant, and I would never date a black boy. I would never have a black girlfriend, because they got that bad hair. Both of them. And, you know, it's not me just being, this is not me being racist. This is me being real. Because, I mean, we have him right there, and then him right there. He's going to Toshiba when my little white homeboy is going to be on the Mac trying to make a song with me, trying to get me rich, you know? Like, not trying to be about something that's corny in the library at school. And I didn't mean to rash on them personally, but I'm just saying, I'm just pointing something out. No hard feelings. Yeah, no hard feelings at all. I mean, yes to Irving, because that nigga is the definition of a piece of shit.
Okay, now you see that. This is what he was talking about. Affecting blacks with racist DNA. Y'all heard that, sister? Or that little bitch. Let me rephrase that. That's not a sister. That's a little bitch. That's a self-hating little bitch. And y'all can get mad at me for saying all you want, but it's the truth. That's what Reverend Wright was talking about. Brothers and sisters, I'm just trying to get y'all to think. I ain't trying to tell you how to think, but I'm just trying to get y'all to think about how we throw each other under the bus and how we got people within our community to help. That's what Malcolm talked about. Dr. King even spoke about it, but the media don't let you hear that version of Dr. King. The Black Panthers, Reverend Jackson, Mr. Farrakhan, Reverend Sharpton, Reverend Wright, and so many others. But you have to ask yourself, why is it that black folk don't want this man to speak? Or no, those in the media, those in politics. Look how to that brother Joe, what's his name? Joe Williams, that got fired by Politico when they asked him a question about Mitt Romney not being comfortable around blacks, and he said, yeah. And people got mad, but it's true. Didn't Mitt Romney go hang with Donald Trump and said some pretty racist things about black people? But the brother got fired from a news organization, but they can write shit about us and black politicians that we know is not true or slanted. So I'm going to have to go with Reverend Wright, because I think that we, as black men, have lost the ability to say what we want to say and be damned the consequences.